a day of trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord. And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them. All right. But there is something that's going to be able to deliver you. All right. Which is the blood of Yahushua. All right. But the blood of Yahushua is only going to deliver you if you observe the necessary things. All right. Which I'm going to get into. It says, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all of them that dwell in the land. All right. So that is the ultimate punishment that we're trying to avoid. All right. All right. And what they should observe to avoid punishment. Now, right now, we're already going through a punishment. All right. Which are these curses that the nation of Israel, no matter where you at, you're under these curses. All right. You're under this punishment right here. OK, so this is Micah. This is Micah chapter 7 and 9. It says, now this is which part of what you have to observe to avoid the ultimate punishment. All right. It says, Micah 7 and 9, I will bear the indignation of the Lord, because I have sinned against him. It says all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. So if you want to have any hope of salvation, any hope of mercy, all right, then you're going to bear, you're going to carry, you're going to deal with the indignation of the Lord. You're not going to try to escape the indignation, because you know you did wrong. All right. Everybody did wrong. All 100% of the Israelites have done wrong. Okay. So take your punishment. Take the indignation of the Lord. All right. Because you sinned against him. Okay. It says, so this is one of the first things that you got to realize. I messed up. I messed up. So this is not our rest to have fun, live our best life. All right. No, we're under a punishment right now. All right. So it says, I will bear the indignation of the Lord, because I have sinned against him. Until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me, he will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. All right. So right now we have to go through this. Micah said, I will bear the indignation. All right. And this is an example, all right, of the mindset that we should have. All right. And all the things that we go through, even though it ain't fun. All right. Just like the scripture says, the chastening don't seem to be joyous, but grievous. But afterward, it yielded a peaceable fruit of righteousness to them that are exercised thereby. If you're exercised by being chastened, by going through the punishment and keeping your faith and your integrity, then it worketh something in you, a peaceable fruit of righteousness, and you have hope of being saved from the ultimate punishment. All right, which is that fire, that weeping and gnashing of teeth. All right, that fire that I just read about in that Zephaniah. Okay, so we have to have that mindset of bearing the indignation of the Lord, knowing that we sinned against him. All right. This is Leviticus chapter 26. And I'll start at 38, because this is once again part of our punishment, all right, that we had to deal with for our disobedience, all right, for us not following the instructions, all right, and following our law, statutes, and commandments, which would have made us wise, all right, but we didn't do that perfectly. So now we're dealing with the consequences and the punishment and the indignation of the Lord. It says, verse 38, and ye shall perish among the heathen, all right, among these heathen nations. And the land of your enemies shall eat you up. And we see that with so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans today, no matter where you at. It says, and they that are left of you shall pine away in their iniquity in your enemies' lands. And also in the iniquities of their fathers shall they pine away with them. If they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass which they have trespassed against me, and that they have and that also they have walked contrary unto me, and that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies. All right. But it says right now, hey, if we confess that we did wrong, if we confess our iniquity, if we confess that we were just wicked, all right, pieces of crap, all right, if we confess that we walk contrary to the Most High, and he walked contrary unto us. And that's why we're in the predicament that we're in today. But it says, if then, all right, when we're hearing our punishment, all right, if then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept of their punishment, of their iniquity, all right, it says, if their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and that they accept of their punishment. See, when you accept that you're on punishment, then you're like your parents. Your parents say, nah, you can't play the game. You can't have company. You can't go outside. If you accept that, then you don't sneak out the window. You don't sneak somebody in. You don't sneak and play the game and have fun. Then you don't learn your lesson. All right? Because every time you can do something bad, and you know you can sneak and do this. All right? That's equivalent to our people trying to live their best life. To be rich, have the money, cars, clothes, and the hoes and success here in our punishment. You ain't learning nothing. All right? And the Lord, when he come back with that fire, with that wrath, in the day of the Lord's wrath, then you won't get caught up in mercy. You're going to get caught up in wrath. Because you didn't accept of your punishment. You didn't bear the indignation of the Lord. No, you snuck and played the game. No, you snuck and tried to live your best life. All right? Right now, we supposed to be going through. We deserve it. He said, matter of fact, for what we about to get in the kingdom, he said, man, I exacted to you less than your iniquities deserve. We really need to be going through more than what we going through to ultimately get what we're about to get. He said, man, for the suffering of this present time cannot be compared to the glory which shall be revealed in us. So right now, bear the Lord's indignation, accept of your punishment, knowing that, hey, you deserve it and more. All right. This is how we learn. This is what's going to make us tough. All right. This is what's going to make us wise. This is what's going to give us that peaceable fruit of righteousness that we're exercised by the Lord's chastisement. All right. And we go through it and keep our faith and keep our integrity. Okay. So back in this Leviticus chapter 26 and 41. It says, and that I have also walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies. It says, if then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they accept of their punishment of their iniquity. All right, and part of that that being humbled, let me get this, Micah 6 and 8. It says, he hath showed thee, O man, what is good, and what doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly. All right, just, righteous. All right, because the Most High love justice, judgment. All right, it says, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy power. All right, to walk humbly, to love mercy. All right, because the Lord has mercy on us by sending his son to die for our iniquities, to die for our sins, and to pay that debt, because it says the wages of sin is death. All right, so we deserve that ultimate judgment that we just read about in Zephaniah. All right, about that fire, weeping and gnashing of teeth and dwelling in torments. Every one of us deserve it. But the Lord is so merciful, he sent his only begotten son to die for us. His son lived perfectly. All right? He lived perfectly without sin as Yahushua. All right? And he paid the debt of death for those who's going to accept their punishment. He paid the debt, all right, of death to those who bear the indignation of the Lord. All right. So going back to this Leviticus 26 and 41 in the middle, it says, if then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept of their punishment of their iniquity, it says, then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land. The land also shall be left of them, and shall enjoy her Sabbaths, while she lieth desolate without them. All right, because that land over there, even though there's people there, it's desolate without the true inhabitants. All right, which are you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It says, and they shall accept of their punishment of their iniquity, because they despise my judgments, and because their soul abhorred my statutes. And yet for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them. Even though we broke the covenant with him, he said he not gonna break the covenant with us. That's mercy, man. And you can't bear your indignation? You can't make your body a living sacrifice and wait on the Lord to live your best life? All right, you want to live your best life in the present evil world and do wickedly like these heathen nations? Then you're going to have to get the punishment of these heathen nations, which is that fire. Man, this is beautiful, man, that the Lord love us this much, man. He said, and yet for all that, for all the bullshit we done, man, for all the disobedience, man, for all our wickedness, when he set us on high above all nations and gave us a way of life, and we didn't follow it, but disobeyed him. And yet for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them. For I am the Lord their God. I am Yahweh their power. But I will for their sakes remember the covenant of their ancestors, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt in the sight of the heathen, that I might be their God. I am Yahweh. Verse 46, it says, these are the statutes and the judgments and laws which the Lord made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses. All right. He said he will not utterly destroy us. All right. Even when we own punishment, we dealing with the curses. We dealing with the indignation of the Lord. All right. But he said he's not going to utterly destroy us. All right. And that's why in this second Maccabees, it says this. It says second Maccabees chapter 6 and 12. It says, now I beseech those that read this book, that they be not discouraged for these calamities. Don't be discouraged that this is not the time to live our best life. Don't be discouraged that we, the offscouring of all the world and the bottom of the bottom, niggas, spicks, and tontos, all right? And just, just on the bottom and going through all these things that we go through, all right? And being in the flesh and having to keep your flesh in subjection, all right? Be not discouraged for all these calamities, all these punishments, all these curses. All right. It says, but that they judge those punishments not to be for our destruction. He just said that, hey, he's not going to utterly destroy us. All right. Now we getting jacked up. We getting destroyed, but not utterly. All right. But all the jacked up and destruction that came to us, we deserve that and more. All right, but he says, yo, if we return to him, he's going to return unto us. And returning unto him is, following these laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. All right, rehearse the righteous acts. Make separate yourself from this world that's about living their best life and about following their flesh and whatever their flesh want to do. All right, separate yourself from that. This is not our time to live it up. All right? Be rich and doing all these things of these heathen nations. All right? It says that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for a chastening of our nation. All right? It says, hey, he that's without chastisement, you bastards and not sons. All right? Bear your indignation. All right? This is how you avoid the ultimate punishment. Okay? Which is that fire that the Lord is coming back with, man. All right? This is for a chastening of our nation. Always get it. Chasten means to punish for the sake of moral improvement. But if you ain't bearing your indignation, if you ain't bearing the punishment that you have to go through, then you're not being morally improved. You're not working, it's not a peaceable fruit of righteousness that's being worked in you. Then you're going to have to get that peaceable fruit of righteousness by the fire, physical fire. All right? Because 2/3 of our people, they're going to deal with that physical fire, that weeping and gnashing of teeth, that dwelling in torments. That is what's going to get them the peaceable fruit of righteousness. All right, because it says, through much tribulation shall you enter into the kingdom of heaven. Now, in Romans, it says all Israel shall be saved. All right, all Israel is going to be in the kingdom. All right, 100% of Israelites is going to be in the kingdom in a rulership position. Okay, but 2/3 are going to have to get there by going through fire, physical fire. All right, the elect is going through the spiritual fire. All right, they accepting of the indignation of the Lord. They accepting of their punishment, and they fight the flesh to do what's right. All right, It says, right, I'll keep reading. It says, for it is a token of his great goodness. It's a sign of the Most High's great goodness towards us when we punish right away so we can learn. All right. It says, for it is a token of his great goodness when wicked doers, and all of the Israelites have done some wickedness. All right. It says, are not suffered any long time. We're not allowed any long time, but forthwith punish, meaning immediately punish. It says, for not as with other nations, whom the Lord patiently forbeareth to punish, till they come to the fullness of their sins. All right. See, it says not with other nations, whom the Lord patiently forbeareth to punish. But he's going to punish them when they come to the fullness of their evil and wickedness. All right. But right now, he's not punishing them because he's not trying to morally improve these other nations. All right. But he's going to get them with the ultimate punishment. You don't want to deal with that ultimate punishment. You don't want to deal with the heathen's punishment. But 2/3 of our people, they're going to deal with the ultimate punishment, which is going to be like none other. All right. None other. All right. So it's for us now to, hey, know that, yo, we can, he said he not going to put too much on us than we can bear. We can bear the indignation of the Lord. We can bear our punishment. All right. We can bear making our bodies a living sacrifice and being separate from this present evil world. All right. We can do that because he said, hey, through Yahweh Shai, we can do all things. All right. But we truly got to have that faith, man. And wanting to do what's right. The desire of discipline. Okay. That's the beginning of the wisdom. All right. Along with the fear of the Lord. All right. This is Sirach, my last scripture, I believe. Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Prepare thy soul for temptation because you in the flesh. And like Paul said, in my flesh dwelleth no good thing. My flesh want to do all the things of the world. But I'm not my flesh. That's not me. All right. So I got to fight the flesh. All right. And you do too. It says, set thy heart aright, set thy mind right, and constantly endure. All right. If you constantly endure, you bearing the indignation of the Lord. All right. You're bearing your punishment. You're dealing with your punishment. The punishment don't feel good. All right. But you constantly endure it. All right. It says, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. All right. See, when the Lord come back, see, you want to be under his mercy and covered by the blood of Yahweh Shai. Okay. So those that's going to get jacked up by that fire, they'll see that, wow, he's not getting jacked up by that fire. He's being covered. All right. He don't have to deal with the ultimate punishment. All right. Man, that's going to be beautiful, man. I want to be a part of that who don't have to deal with the ultimate punishment. So now I'll deal with the punishment that I'm in right now. All right. And bear the indignation of the Lord and accept of my punishment and wait on the Lord. All right. And stack my treasures in heaven. All right. Which rulership for the Israelites is going to be right here on the earth. All right. Rulership is synonymous with heaven. Okay. Heaven is a condition. All right. It says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. Be patient. Know that, have faith in the Lord that he know if you doing what's right, you're going to get punished. You're going to get jacked up. But guess what? He's going to give you the strength to deal with it. And after you deal with it and kept your faith and your integrity, then you learn, you grew. All right. It worketh that peaceable fruit of righteousness. All right. It says, for gold, but whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. It says, for gold is tried in the fire. All right? Gold being that fire. All right? To make sure that it's straight up pure. It's real. All right? And that gold come out shining. All right? When it's purified and it's pure and it's the real deal. Man. It's come out shining. And that's what we trying to do. Go through this spiritual fire that we going through. Bearing the indignation of the Lord. Bearing our punishment. And keeping our faith and our integrity. All the while being purified and perfected. So we can come out shining when the Lord come. Okay? It says, for gold is tried in the fire. And acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. All right? If you want to be accepted by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, all right, then accept your adversity. All the while keeping your faith and your integrity. All right? It says, believe in him and he will help thee. The Lord is going to help you if you do what's right. If you bear his indignation. If you accept of your punishment. All the while rehearsing the righteous acts, doing what's right, separating yourself from this present evil world, making your body a living sacrifice, waiting on the Lord, being patient. All right? It says, order thy way aright and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy and go not aside lest ye fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him. And your reward shall not fail. Your reward shall not fail. Jack, is it, man, listen. And that reward, man, listen. Verse 9, it says, ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Everlasting joy and mercy. If we go through right now, it says, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in the time of affliction. All right. So if you want to be saved in the time of affliction, all right, and then saved ultimately in that time of the ultimate affliction. All right. Matter of fact, 1 Corinthians 11:32. 1 Corinthians 11:32. It says, but when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, and we accept that chastisement, all right? And we judge ourselves with these scriptures to make sure that we on point and trying to do our best to do what's right, all right? Do our best, and the Lord know, all right? It says, but when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world, all right? So if we go through right now, bear our indignation, all right? Bear the indignation of the Lord, excuse me, all right? Bear the punishment and the curses that the Lord have put on us and try our best to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, all right? To live in Yahweh Shai and to wait on the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world with the ultimate punishment. That ultimate punishment. All right? Which is that fire. All right? Like it says in that Zephaniah 1:18, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire, physical fire, of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all of them that dwell in the land. You don't want to get caught up in that. All right, you want to get caught up in his mercy. All right, and him saving you from that. And the way to do that, all right, is the scriptures that I just read, because that was that second Ezra